Boo! Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold stream. On today's stream, we are back with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and as you can tell with the title and the thumbnail, we are going to be talking about a lot. Dragon Maid Eaten Good? Are there new cards to talk about? There's a lot to talk about, honestly. We're going to be looking at pretty much everything. TCG Banlist. I still want to test a few more of the new cards. Most notably Gimmick Puppet, which we'll probably try and build. I also want to play a bit more of True Draco. Felt like we didn't really get much in that. We're going to talk about memes, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, all in all, let's just hop right into this. We're actually going to start off here with the tournament report for the most recent YCS, because I think there's a lot to talk about with it. If you haven't seen most recent YCS, first of all, most recent YCS in the TCG was won by another famous Yu-Gi tuber in Stephen Triff. Shout out to him. Incredible player. But yeah, honestly, I'm not too surprised because Stephen has been a really good player for quite some time. And 2024, he really turned it on. And he did it. So shout out to him. Last YCS of the year, ends up getting it done. So really, really cool. And it was a big event, right? 1,500 duelists. Well, 1,400 duelists. Pretty good. He's the rank 4 guy. I think he's more the Fiendsmith guy. If you've seen his other videos, he talks a lot about Fiendsmith in particular. So there's that. Anyway, what else? There's... Oh, yeah. Let's talk about Top Cut. If we look at the previous YCS, if we go back and we take a look at the... hold on. Let us look at the... So we have YCS Anaheim here. If we look at the previous YCS, which would be... Where is it? Where is it? Tier 3. There we go, YCS Bologna. If we look at this one, we can see obviously a very different format, right? Which, a lot more players in Italy. On top of that, at the end of a format, and we had a varied wheel, right? In theory, it looks varied, but in reality, it was very heavily dominated, even still, by Fiendsmith. The amount of Fiendsmith or Fiendsmith adjacent decks, as we can see, there's a lot of Fiendsmith decks, just in general, like hard Fiendsmith decks, but then there's a lot of decks that utilize Fiendsmith as an engine. So you could even argue that, like, Fiendsmith is still, you know, it takes up, like, what? All of this, pretty much. So it's still pretty similar in representation. Now, with that being said, going to Anaheim, that changes quite significantly. We still have a few Fiendsmith decks getting top 32, but we also see Ryzeal and Malice being the top 2 decks, right? In terms of representation, followed by Fiendsmith. Now, these are obviously the 2 newest decks as well, but even with that being said, we still have Snake Eye, we still have Yubel, and we still have Tenpai in the top cut. Now, we should know, or we should note, that the most recent ban list changed quite a few things in regards to the top decks. Most notably, Tenpai and Fiendsmith. Those deck prices are crazy. Yep, absolutely. That's why I don't play TCG. But here you go. Though, to be fair, I think Ryzeal and Malice are not actually all that expensive. Like, the actual core of Ryzeal and the core of Malice, I think, are not as expensive as these numbers are shaping out. Because I think a lot of this has to do with Fueros, as well as like the other hand traps and stuff like that are in this. The Perulias, the Fuelos, the extra deck. I think Ryzeal is still expensive, but I think it's not nearly as bad. Anyway. In regards to the TCG ban list, Snake Eyes is pretty heavily nerfed, and Tenpai is pretty heavily nerfed. So with those two decks being as hit as they are, I'm not expecting to see Tenpai pretty much at all in the TCG anymore. And I'm also not expecting to see Snake Eyes pretty much at all. Maybe we'll see some Diabell Star Azamina stuff, or some like White Forest shenanigans. But as a whole, those two decks are pretty much gone. Yubel, basically nothing happened to Yubel. Yubel is still at full power. In fact, I'd even say it got a buff. Yes, the limitation to one Nightmare, or Phantom Nightmare does matter. However, the end board still does the same thing, and now it does it more consistently, thanks to the addition of the other two copies of the continuous spell. So, all in all, it's kind of a adjustment, not necessarily a nerf. It's also kind of a buff. So, yeah. Anyway. Especially since most Yubel decks, at least as far as I've seen, only play the two Yubel. And Fiendsmith is still, you know, there. So I would imagine the top three decks being Ryzeal, Malice, and Fiendsmith, with like Yubel being a competent strategy to compete as well. Memento is also something of note as well. I think Memento is extremely strong and is not as heavily tested. And in a format with specifically Ryzeal, I think that Memento is a lot more likely to show up because of like the way that side decks are going to be more targeted towards Ryzeal, as well as due to the nature of Ryzeal being able to either play a million hand traps or just a million non-engine in general. And I think because we're losing one of the big decks that just plays a bajillion hand trap, or like you have to hand trap a bajillion times, I think you're a lot less likely to see, you know, 23 hand traps or something along those lines, and you're probably going to see Memento and stuff like that a little bit more often. Could be wrong, but those are my overall thoughts. Also, Ryzeal absolutely dominated this tournament, ended up winning, as well as Malice coming and doing extremely well as well, just being absolutely insane. So there you go. We've seen Fiendsmith as well in the past absolutely dominate in terms of representation and kind of be thrown in, obviously as an engine, but on top of that, even as like a main component to, you know, a deck centered around Fiendsmith, which for some reason, do we not have? There we go. So we can see here, like, Fiendsmith is the game plan for some of these decks as well, where it's not so much focused on, you know, as a secondary engine, but as a main engine. Which is fine, because if you're able to play 10,000 non-engine, doing the simple Fiendsmith stuff oftentimes is enough. I'm just waiting to see the murder Ryzeal will face in the near future. I highly doubt Ryzeal will see much, because it's not actually all that problematic. It's kind of just like the deck that can play the most amount of non-engine, and I think it is very beatable. It's likely, if it receives 1 to 2 nerfs, will probably be pretty weak. Right? 2 dominant decks with very different outs. Like, this is worse than 1 dominant deck, in my opinion. I agree. However, with that being said, I think it's very similar in nature to Pope format, with Tier and Sprite in the TCG, which was actually a really good format, because Tier was very different from Sprite, but due to the counterplay involved with those two decks, it allowed for a lot of nuance and decision-making within the gameplay, and even within deck building. And the thing is, Ryzeal is something that, like, while it isn't exactly great to hand trap, whereas Malice is, you're never really going to be playing a lot of the main deck interactions for both Malice and Ryzeal. A lot of that is side deck options for specifically those decks, and a lot of the main deck stuff is just generically good interactions. And I think you can still beat both Ryzeal and Malice with main deck, even before side decking and stuff like that. And so it's still interesting in my mind. I think Malice is definitely more of a problem, but I still think Ryzeal is like extremely beatable, right? A lot of what, like, Ryzeal's very, very strong, don't get me wrong, but like it's similar in nature to when like Kashtira was the best deck, where it's like, oh yeah, I can just beat that with like this, and like the list goes on. But like, yeah, strong but fair. Very beatable. It's just that it does its game plan significantly better than most. So I don't think it's gonna feel as bad. It's not problematic, just consistent. Yep. It's the 3 hand traps that usually beat you in Ryzeal. Yeah. Yep. Ryzeal's power ceiling is nowhere near Snake Eyes. It's nowhere near Snake Eyes, it's nowhere near Yubel, it's nowhere near Tempai. Hell, it's not even near Malice. But the thing is, we even see this in the previous YCS. This same game plan that Ryzeal does was what won the most recent YCS prior to the release of Ryzeal. This is the same thing. This does the same thing. What if I played 20 non-engine and 20 starters that weren't actually all that good, but just did a minor combo consistently, and all basically with singular cards that were difficult to hand trap, right? Now, with that being said, Ryzeal, I think, changes this significantly. I think Fiendsmith doesn't do nearly as well into like board breakers and stuff like that, and Ryzeal is very similar. So the thing with Ryzeal is that if Malice is good, if decks like Yubel exist, and people are playing a million hand traps, Ryzeal is great. If Ryzeal is the sole deck of a format, or is like the best deck, it's going to get shit on, as long as there are other decks of competent nature, like Fiendsmith. Right? And if you look at the OCG, let's look at the OCG real quick. What the fuck? No, Google. There we go. My fingers were too fast. If we look at the OCG, we can see Ryzeal tends to dominate, or kind of dominated a bit more. But we can also see that in the OCG ban list, let me see if I can find the OCG ban list. I said it dominated a bit more, but like it's dominated for longer. But like now there's like Blue Eyes and stuff like that. The important thing is, in the OCG ban list, I think Fiendsmith is significantly more nerfed than it is in the TCG, right? We have, where is it? Engraver's at 1, and I believe Tract is also at 1, if I'm not mistaken. Fiendsmith Engraver and Fiendsmith Tract are both at 1, which matters immensely, right? Because now you can't just like play Fiendsmith instead of playing Ryzeal, right? So there's not really another deck that can kind of take up this mantle of like deck that does consistent one-card combos, that plays through hand traps pretty well, because any extender is able to play through so much. And like, therefore I can play, 20 non-engine, 23 non-engine, right? Like Malice can't do that because its extenders aren't nearly as good. They're good, but they're not nearly as good, right? Blue Eyes obviously can't do that. They're going to brick. As well as like the primary cards are good, but not nearly as much, right? So like they're not as consistent and need to play more non-engine or more engine pieces, right? If you look at this, like, sure, they can play some big power spells and stuff like that, but they also do need to play a fair amount more of engine, right? And a lot of those individual non-engine don't do as much. Or, sorry, not engine. The individual engine don't do as much, right? Like, these are dead draws. Just straight up, don't want to see them. Unless you see them with additional engine and stuff like that. So. If only Ryzeal alone is good, then we will see much more Book of Eclipse. Yep. Well, that's the thing, is like, Ryzeal, again, is very similar in nature to Kashtira. However, unlike Kashtira, it's not a thing where if you don't draw the out, you lose the game. Right? It's a thing where if you don't draw the out, a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Probably is still able to be played. It's just going to take a lot more effort over more turns to beat Ryzeal. Do watch just decks just have the versatility of the high power combo decks? Yep. Pretty much. But even with that being said, like, Malice is still extremely good. Tenpai was extremely good, right? With the limitations, it makes it significantly more inconsistent and overall not able to do the combo as consistently. But, like, Tenpai was this big combo deck that just killed you. Malice is this big combo deck that in theory also kills you. Yubel is a deck that you basically can't let play the game because if it does, it kills you, etc. Right? And Ryzeal was able to be like, you're not going to do that. You're not going to play the game. What is Malice? Malice is MathMech. So you know how MathMech works? That's Malice. Except for now Malice or MathMech can play Shifter. And they play like trap cards and stuff like that they can search that do similar things and can also be like utility to dodge Imperm and Valor and stuff like that. They are some extremely powerful cards. But yeah, it's pretty much just a bunch of Cyberse monsters that can play Shifter. Now, with that being said, they do have a silver bullet that like pretty much immediately beats them, and it is Lancia. As we can see in a lot of people's side decks, Lancia entirely shits on Malice. Because what if you wanted to banish cards and Konami said, no. More billion more years of cyber support. Yay. On top of that, they can play the Kashtira engine, which is obscene, to say the least. The Kashtira cards are kind of nasty. Try next game. Yeah. Lancia's crazy. A lot of people are citing Lancias. So, and it's for the Malice engine. That's pretty much it. But all in all, I will say, I think the last metagame was incredibly interesting in the TCG. I don't think this one's going to be as bad as it may look based on this graph, where it kind of looks like a 2, maybe 3-ish deck format. In reality, I think while Ryzeal is very strong, I think it's not as strong as this makes it out to be. I think it's just kind of like preparation and the lack thereof for Ryzeal, as well as I think it also has a lot to do with the fact that it's new. So there's that. What are the best hand traps for the upcoming meta? In TCG? Lancia, Impulse, Fualos, Purulia, Nibiru. Nibiru's crazy. Nibiru actually is super good right now in the TCG. Mostly due to the fact that, like, everything plays into it. Ryzeal can play into it, Malice plays into it, but they can all also play through it, but it's still, like, extremely strong, just as a whole. Fiendsmith plays into it. They just ban the locks, not Sanctifier. Otherwise, branded will be rogue. That's cope. They should ban Sanctifier. Sanctifier is not the problem. Or, Sanctifier is the problem. The locks are not. Because the thing is, we've seen this in Master Duel, you'd have to ban, like, 70 cards as opposed to banning 1. And branded absolutely can play without Sanctifier. The fact that they're banning the locks instead of Sanctifier is a crime. And they clearly do not understand how Yu-Gi-Oh! Works. Seems like Nib ebbs and flows. Yep. Often Nib can't stop the combo, but Nib plus any other hand trap can. Yep. The what? The Math MILF video? I'm glad you enjoyed my last Labyrinth video. I'm not gonna lie, before going to sleep, I had that idea for the title, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And I was glad that when I woke up, it was still a good title idea. Anyway, this format, once again, is extremely expensive, mostly due to Fua loss and the like. How much is Fua loss? It's like... How much is this card? Yeah, getting a place out of this is like $200 bucks. 300. Almost. Oh, no, sorry. It's 450-ish. It's about $400 for this. That's crazy. Nib isn't used, people get bold, stop playing into Nib. Nib get punished by Nib, people stop playing Nib. Nib isn't good anymore, and so people stop using it and repeat. Yep. I kind of agree, but I also kind of disagree. I think Nib is specifically better in certain formats. And right now, I think it's really good, but like in the last format, you know, what are you going to do against Yubel that summons the monster negate on, you know, their first summon, or Snake Eye, who can do full combo through Nibiru, or etc, etc. It's like those decks can still play even through the Nibiru, whereas like Ryzeal, if you actually Nibiru them, it matters, like, significantly, right? Same thing with Malice, same thing with a lot of them. Yes, they have ways of playing around it, but it's like, as opposed to playing something like, what's a good example? As opposed to playing something like Ash Blossom, right? Where it's like, I just don't want you to get anything. And that seems to be the case with, like, Snake Eye and Yubel, where it's like, if they get a single card, it's so much advantage for them that just stopping them from getting that individual card is way better. Whereas, like, against Ryzeal, it's like, stopping a single card is just nigh impossible. So you're just like, yeah, I'd better not hand trap them. I'd better hit them with something like Nibiru that actually kind of stops their turn. Anyway. So yeah. That's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else. We can talk about the ban list, though. I have a few thoughts on the ban list. Starting off with... Actually, let's start off with the unlimits. And talking about those. All of these are pretty inconsequential. Minus 2. There's only 2 in here that I think actually do matter. First of all, Airlifter. Airlifter going from 1 to 3? Great. 10 out of 10. Especially with the limitation to Original Sin. I think this is a great add to Rescue Ace. Still keeping them viable, but not killing the deck. Obviously, it's not, like, competitively viable nearly as much. It's pretty much rogue at this point. But I think mostly that has to do with power creep rather than necessarily anything else. Especially with the Airlifter coming back to 3. Super big help. And I like that. I wish they would do this with Sharvara. I don't know why Sharvara is still at 1, but alas, here we are, stuck in Purgatory. This one is just like a straight-up buff to Yubel, even with the limitation to the Phantom of Yubel. The biggest thing with Yubel is the fact that it just generates an infinite amount of bodies, which is really frustrating when you give them back one of their best options to put additional bodies onto the field. So, really frustrating, but... No OSS means it's Rescue Ass. Hard to disagree, but sure. I get why you think that. Realistically, it's still, like, competitive. It was competitive even with the one Airlifter. And, yeah, now you don't have the Original Sin, but you now have 3 Airlifter. I still think it's competitive. The biggest thing, again, as I said, is Power Creep. Did I see the Triff interview? I did. It was fine. I don't know why Cyberjar is going to 2. Honestly, I don't even know why this card's was at 1. This card's not fun to play against, just in general. So, sure. Ava is similar. It's at 2 now, once again. Comment to 1 is too much? I disagree. The Dangers coming back is nice. These should be at 3. Monkey Board I didn't know was not at 3. Smile. I don't know why... I don't know why Barrage is at 1. This should, again, just have immediately gone to 3. They do not have Dryden. And we have seen in the TC, or in Master Duel, 3 Dryden, a Rat Pier, and 3 Barrage does nothing. The deck's not good. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that, like, there are just better engines. So yeah, I don't know. This is, give us Broad Roll? No. Broad Bull changes the math on a lot of things, and I genuinely think that Broad Bull would make Zodiac another 1-card engine that you could play in, like, Ryzeal or in Fiendsmith or in the myriad of other decks to just generate additional advantage and do this long-ass combo, basically solely utilizing the extra deck and maybe, like, a brick in the main. Especially not with Ryzeal. I think Broad Bull right now is currently not allowed. If Ryzeal gets nerfed, I'd be like more susceptible to it. I'd be like, yeah, maybe we can talk about Broad Bull. But right now, not a chance. Keep that guy in hell. Anyway, the one Phantom of Yubel, I don't think does enough. I genuinely don't, because the difference between being able to only make this guy once and being able to make him multiple times, while it is significant, doesn't matter as much as I think Konami thinks it does. First of all, it should have just had a hard once per turn on its summon effect anyway. The fact that it didn't blows my mind. But at the very least, now it's at 1. With that being said, it still needed to be at 0 for it to actually matter. And even with that being said, I don't know if it would. Because Yubel's biggest thing is that it can just vomit out a whole bunch of guys. And basically just play Fiend Link. And then they can just make this as a way to insulate their plays. Right? Or as part of their end board, even after their plays get interrupted. So for the most part, this doesn't really change anything. Yubel still makes the same end board. I don't think this did anything. Like, in theory it did. It made it easier to kind of, like, beat them post their end board. But, like, are you ever realistically going to beat that end board? Probably not. Like, it's very difficult for them to be able to. What would you hit outside of banning Yama? I would ban Phantom of Yubel. In reality, I think you ban Nightmare Pain. I think that is easily the simplest ban. Because it cuts them off of a lot of resources. It prevents them from utilizing their 0 attack point monsters as basically a way to skip battle phase. And it allows you to... Basically, it prevents them from having just, like, insane recursion and interaction and everything all in one. Nightmare Pain is by far the most powerful card in that deck for the combo. For, like, doing the rest of the combo. Once end board is up, it's the end 90% of the time. Yep. Yep. Anyway. Yeah, Yubel is still insanely strong with the one Phantom. This is a slap on the wrist, and if people aren't still playing Yubel, I would genuinely be surprised. I still think it's insane. Banning Pain would just make it unplayable? No, it wouldn't. Nope, not a chance. It would change the way that Yubel plays. But the thing is, Nightmare Pain has so much power specifically in that individual card, it holds together kind of, not the entire strategy, but like it holds it together as the gimmick of Yubel, right? Now with that being said, I don't care. That card is really too powerful. But yeah, overall, I it's too good. Phantom of Yubel is just an insane card, alongside Nightmare Pain. But even with that being said, like, you could have 3 Phantom of Yubel if you got rid of Nightmare Pain. But even with 0 Phantom of Yubel, Nightmare Pain still allows you to do some insane combo. You will just change how it's played. Yeah. But yeah, I think Nightmare Pain is like the only realistic hit that doesn't limit a whole bunch of cards that didn't do anything. Song and Kaiman and and Tenpai Dragon Chandra are they're good hits. I think realistically I would much rather see bannings of the field spell and Transcendent Dragion. I think overall the combo that Tenpai does is not really what I care about. It's the fact that like I can't interact with them as they proceed to kill me. That for me has always been the issue with Tenpai, is like, oh, if they do the combo, I die, but I can't do anything about that. Cool, I've set up my big board, but they activate the field spell, I don't have a way to deal with it, and now I lose because I can't interact with any of their monsters. And like that is incredibly frustrating. Whereas like if I don't have to deal with the field spell and I don't have to deal with Transcendent immediately preventing me from ever interacting with them, it's a lot easier to kind of play the game. And there's a lot more like silver bullets to Tenpai. And not even necessarily silver bullets, just like general good cards to deal with Tenpai. Centurion template? What the fuck? I've never heard of that. It's not for balance as it should. Hold on, chat. Hold on. What would you have done with this ban list? The only thing I would have changed is a bigger hit to Yubel. Ryzeal came out like a week ago. Same thing with Malice. I guess Fiendsmith hits would have been nice, but I think Fiendsmith is like mostly an engine at this point and not necessarily that big of a deck. But like you could hit Fiendsmith, but I like it and I think it's great. But like Yubel should have gotten smoked. I agree. I think realistically this list is great. It's a fantastic list. Yes, it's not actually killing the decks that currently are topping, right? But mind you, these decks came out days ago. What would you have them hit? Fiendsmith and Yubel hits would have been better. So would you have said instead of Tenpai and Snake Eye, you'd rather have Fiendsmith and Yubel? Ban Detonator Trust. Yeah, ban the Ryzeal card that came out 2 days ago. Smile. Because, like, the Tenpai hits are justifiable. They've been meta for quite some time, and they're a really difficult deck to deal with, right? Snake Eye has been meta for quite some time, and this is a huge nerf to the deck. So overall, that's still pretty much killing the deck and keeping it out of the top metagame. Yubel has been meta for less amount of time, so still keeping it around makes sense. People are still able to play a deck that has been around for less time, so they have more opportunity to play it and to build it and to get their investments worth. I think that's fine, but like, yeah, it would have been nice to see heavier hits to Yubel. But like, everything else on here is good limitations. I don't like limiting Gimmick Puppet and, well, I like limiting Jowgen. But like, obviously Sanctifier should be on here instead of these guys. Reziel Field Spell that negates on resolution is a bad design too. I disagree, but sure. You would add Fiendsmith and Yubel. Okay, what would you hit with Fiendsmith? Because I think Fiendsmith is a very interesting deck in the TCG. I think it's a very reasonable end board, and it's not really doing anything obscene. The problem is that it's oftentimes paired with Yubel, which is doing obscene things. Right? Yubel is pretty much making an unbreakable board. Even without the Ryziel, or even without the Fiendsmith stuff, Yubel was still doing that. Engraver to 1. I hate that. But to each their own. This list is good, but so late. Yeah, I kind of agree. But I mean, I think the Snake Eye hit, yeah, is reasonable, but like, Yubel needs more hits, Tenpai needs more hits. And this actually takes Snake Eye out of the competition, which I think is good, right? Overall, I think it is a good ban list and is actually changing the metagame and forcing players. It is forcing players to play new decks, right? Which is what Konami wants, obviously. You know, buy a new product. But it's also getting decks that have been meta for quite some time out of the metagame and keeping the new decks in, right? Fiendsmith is a new deck, relatively speaking, especially compared to Snake Eye, right? So, like, keeping that around, I think, still makes sense. Cool, you still have a deck here that is able to compete with the newer decks. On top of that, same thing with Yubel. They didn't immediately kill Yubel. Here's another deck you can play that's not exactly the newest, that you can still use to compete with the new stuff. So, like, I'm not the most happy because I hate Yubel. And I think a lot of people feel the same way about Fiendsmith. But overall, it's better than if we just got rid of all of that. And we're just like, cool, here's Ryziel and Malice. Go. If we saw Fiendsmith hits, I think this would have been a horrible ban list. Just like almost any hit to Fiendsmith, I think would have been a terrible idea. One, for the bottom line, because now you can't reprint that shit and actually get people to buy it. But two, and more importantly, for the balance of the game, because then it's like, cool, all of these old decks that you've been playing, we're going to get rid of all of them. You have to play the new stuff. And now, that's not the case. You can still play Fiendsmith, you can still play Yubel, you can, in fact, even play Memento and a bunch of other stuff like that. Voiceless Voice is still playable, etc. They give us back the Rescue Ace card. I would love to see Sharvara back, but of course they didn't do that. That would have been a good unlimit. But, like, not a lot actually went down in number, which I think is a good idea, especially when they know the metagame is going to be Ryziel and Malice. So I think overall, it's good. Fiendsmith is just a compliment in a lot of decks. Yep. I can understand why people don't like Fiendsmith. If you want those hits, I totally get it. But I think it's better to have Fiendsmith around than to not have that additional deck to be playable. Because then it's even more Ryziel Malice. Ryziel Malice, Ryziel Malice, Ryziel Malice. And right now, it feels like Ryziel Malice, or Ryziel Malice, Fiendsmith, Yubel, and then some rogue options. It still feels like there's a hierarchy. You're playing Ryziel, then Malice, then Yubel, and Fiendsmith, and then a bunch of rogue stuff. But at the very least, there are competitors. And I think that's good. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen other unhits as well. I like the Rescue Ace unhit. I would have, again, liked to see the Unchained unhit. And maybe a few other things like, I don't know. I was gonna say tier, but no, don't do that. No. I don't know what else is like meta. More Zodiac on hits. They could pretty much take everything out. Memento is in the top 5 decks for sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree. However, the thing is, like, that I still think is rogue in comparison. Like, if I'm showing up to a tournament and I'm not playing Ryziel, Malice, Fiendsmith, or Ubel, at this point, I'm playing a rogue deck. Right? There's still a hierarchy. It's still the 4 new decks. But with that being said, I still don't think that, like, any of these decks are pushing anything out of the metagame. Like, you can still play Memento, you can still play Voiceless Voice, you can still play White Forest, you can still play Runic stuff, right? There's still a lot available, and I think that is what... I think this is a pretty good ban list. In fact, I think it's a really good ban list. Only thing, wish Ubel was hit a little bit more, but that's it. Okay. We have a whole bunch to talk about. There's new Dragon Maid support. We got to do meme review. There's we actually I think we got the Link monster here, which is crazy. You'll love to see that. Yeah, we also got some new Skull Servant stuff as well. And official in-game usage rates, which you'll love to see. We have a lot to talk about. Crystron is actually insane now, too. Did we get new Crystron cards? Can we free Prank Kids, finally? Is Meow Meow Mew at 1? Or is it at 0? I think it's at 1, right? Realistically, probably. Some time ago? Oh, yeah, I saw those. Yeah, they're okay. It's banned? Keep it banned. I don't like them. Those are my thoughts. I don't like them. Okay, let's do card usage rates first. Shall we? So this was for the November, pretty much. From October 31st. So yeah, pretty much all of November. Maxi and Ash went up, not too surprising. SP Little Knight went down, not by much. Imperm went up, Called By went up, Crossout went up. I think a lot of this has to do with Tenpai, obviously. And more Tenpai players playing specifically hand trap variants instead of like board breaker variants, because board breakers kind of suck. Baron went down. Valor and Triple Tack went up. Triple Tack is yeah, I think a bit underrepresented, honestly, with how good it is just in general in a best of one style format. Gamma was extremely popular, obviously alongside the driver. Prosby actually going down is kind of interesting. But I think it is... all of this pretty much screams two things. One, Tenpai players playing less board breakers and more hand traps. And two, people playing specifically to counter Tenpai. Right? So, like, Prosby is not going to be played in decks that are countering Tenpai nearly as much. And things like Gamma are going to be played a bit more to counter Tenpai. That's my thoughts. Max less than 90% is one good thing Tenpai did. Are people playing less Maxi because of Tenpai? Really? Yeah, Gamma's about to go away, but there's that. Harpy's Feather Duster is at 38% is huge. Harpy's Feather Duster being at 38% is unwarranted. So yeah, me and my homies hate Tenpai. IP Masquerena and Nib are both going up. Nib is crazy. Mostly due to the fact that people are not playing around it, like at all. But on top of that, a lot of people are heavily committing to like Gopher Wombo combo to beat Tenpai. So if you're also playing something along those lines, just throwing in a nib and being like die is very strong. And then all the rest of these are things that Tenpai was playing a whole bunch of and are no longer playing as much of. That's pretty much it. How does nib go up in a Tenpai format? Yeah, because it's for the non-Tenpai decks, and Tenpai itself will play it to counter said decks. Nib and Droll have been good lately. I don't know how good Droll is. It's not bad, but I think Nibiru is definitely warranted. We have some deck usage rates. Tenpai, hooray. Insane usage rates. 24%. Literally nothing else comes close. What a great format. In terms of win rates, Ritual Beast, not surprising. Yubel, again, not surprising. Tenpai, again, not surprising. Fire King Snake Eye, again, not surprising. Ritual Beast in particular, I think, is one of those things where it's like, if you are someone who plays Ritual Beast, you're probably very good at Ritual Beast, and pretty much everyone else is not playing it. So it's just one of those things where it's like, so few people are playing it that the numbers are going to be significantly higher, even though I don't think it's that good of a deck. Whereas Snake Eye Fire King, great deck. Yubel, great deck. Tenpai, great deck. So all of those kind of combined, regardless of the numbers, they're going to do well. So not really too surprising there. We have win rates, which, hey, King Kali Yuga went down in win rate percentage. That's crazy. We have the Ultimate Falcon as well. Wheel Synchron, Tilting Entrainment. What the hell? Yeah, nothing really all that interesting here, except for this guy. Me and my homies hate this guy. The fact that this isn't semi-limited, or limited at this point, is wild. Zeroboros, getting in for lots of damage. It's pretty much the only thing of note. Trident Dragon is kind of interesting as well, but not really. And then finisher rank, Trident Dragon. That's actually surprising. I'm surprised this is the #1 finisher. I feel like, I don't know, maybe like Bident Dragon. It's probably because this is the card that is summoned to like finish the OTK, and at most points I would imagine people are surrendering before the other attacks go through. That's my thought, is like when Trident Dragon comes down, they're like, that's kind of when the game is over. But when all of the other stuff like is happening and there for the attack, they're probably like, oh, I'm out of here, and then just scoop. But yes, also Bident Dragon, Transcendent Dragon, Chandra, Pydra, and Fadra. What a good game. What a great game. Oh, 10 out of 10. No, that's... Sorry for effing up Charles's win rate. I'll do better next time. No, Charles was so... No, he's so nerfed. Comedy. Anyway, there you go. All right, let's do meme review. Meme review. This week's memes. Oh, what? He's attacking the graveyard. Whoa. Anyway. Konami fixed going second. Yeah. Imagine having to play one specific strategy. What deck is this for you? Oh, okay. My favorite deck, no matter how the meta changes. Nah, that ain't me. I was gonna say Tri-Brigade, but no. It's just not the case. Me and the boys coming out of jail. This is just fan art. It's just fan art. Damn, Dragoon looks like ass. That is how Dragoon looks. Like, that's just... Yeah, They really did make Dragoon look as bad as they could have. Imagine. Front-facing Masterpiece isn't real. He can't hurt you. Honestly, this is not bad. I don't mind front-facing Masterpiece. This is horrifying. This sucks. Man looks like a bird. Goblin's adorable. I love him. Even though he should be banned. What the hell? Hold on. 25. No. Hold on. Is that real math? Is that a joke? I can't find the calculator on my phone. Hold on. It is 5,300 comedy. I would not have thought 5,300. I would have thought 2,300. Dragoon doesn't have a good design. Nope. They aren't a bad artist. He's just ugly. Yep. That's the problem. Oh. There's a new Link Chu challenger in the area. I can be used to link summon during the opponent's turn, and that monster can be destroyed by card effects. Dude, I'm a goblin. I don't care. I'm going to take your shit and then kill you. Cool. So who made this mission? Special summon a monster. 5/5. Nibiru. They've been united once again. Nightmare enjoyers right now. True. Yo, what if you played Link combo? And you summoned like Mermaid, Phoenix, Goblin, Cerberus, Griffin, and then said, fuck you. Nice end board, dipshit. What is it? Can't be... No, hold on. No, you'd make Unicorn there, right? Because then it can't be targeted, can't be destroyed, can't be destroyed by card effect nor battle. And then they're all co-linked. And in a U-link, right? Does Unicorn give the targeting protection? Am I crazy? Oh no, I might be stupid. Doesn't this give target protection? No. Is it this one that does? Oh, yeah, it's Goblin that does. I knew one of them did. Unicorn's the draw, too. Yeah, so it would be Griffin, then. If you could. Just summon an infinite amount of them. Also, shit meme. Death comes in many different flavors. Go second, Fanta? Go first, Pie? Fanta 6 or 10 pie? What the fuck is Fanta 6? Huh? 10 pie I get. What is this? What deck is this referring to? Oh, the gimmick puppet monster. Oh. Konami out there unbanning the whole ban list, Forbidden Unlimited list has been updated. We hope you enjoy. Unlimited, Link Cross, Zexal, Utopic Zexal, As a Thought, Gumblower, Mystic Mind, Soul Charge, Imperial Order, Vanity's Emptiness. Let's make him cry, guys. My body is a machine that turns Light Fiend into Forbidden Unlimited. Please. Please tell me Fiendsmith gets Beatrice banned. Please. I need to live in that world. Fiendsmith without Beatrice, goated. Fiendsmith with Beatrice, bullshit. Least gay live twin interaction. Okay. I've been testing with him for a while, and he just doesn't punch as hard or work as well as he used to. Guys, I think Masterpiece has been power crept. Yep. Doesn't mean I like him. We are back, right? Why is that? What the... Is this supposed to be Nightmare Corruptor Ibli? Okay, hold on. Let me explain this terrible meme. Nightmare Mermaid, Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Goblin, Nightmare Griffin, Nightmare Unicorn, and Nightmare Cerberus. And Nightmare Corruptor Ibli. Unicorn, Fenris, Griffin, Phoenix Destroyer, or Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, sorry. Token Collector, which is not Goblin. This could have been almost anything else. And Kikalos. Yep, that is a post. We really forgot about Tindangles. Tindangler. I mean, yeah. Who invited my man? Bro thinks he's on the team. That is true. Avermax is very funny there, I'm not gonna lie. What a minute it's going to be. Inside you there are 2 wolves. Both are unaffected. Ha ha ha. This deck always finds its way. It's rescue ace in tier 3. Sure. Blocked again. No way you thought Blocked Dragon... This is a Farfa meme, absolutely. No way anyone thought Blocked Dragon was okay. Not happening. No way. Blocked Dragon is not allowed. That shit can rot in hell for all I care. Here's the thing with Block Dragon. Block Dragon can never come back, because if Block Dragon comes back, every single rock that is printed in the future has to have this guy in mind. Which means, likely speaking, every single rock that we print, or that Konami prints, cannot be good. Makes me Chaos Ruler can come back. True. In light of recent event and some copium, events that unite people both sides of the political spectrum. Harambe, short. NR. Who the fuck is this? The hell is this? And then Maxi Man. Is this the like CEO that got KO'd? Is that what this is? Yeah, okay. Comedy. Great meme. Great meme. Yeah. I love making light of people's deaths. That's my favorite. I hate Yu-Gi-Oh players, dude. So, this damn self-racist bonus kaiju? What? Who cares? That CEO was a piece of shit. A person was murdered. I don't care who it was. That should never happen. We should not be making light of that situation in any capacity ever. That's not funny. That's not interesting. That's murder. That's something we cannot condone as a society. Just straight up. That's just not funny. I don't care what he did. No. Indirectly killed more people. Indirectly or directly. That doesn't mean he should be killed. Doesn't mean he should die. Huh? The problem that I have is that we're making fun of it. We're acting as if it's just a meme. Oh, it doesn't matter. This guy died. Whoop-de-doo. He's a horrible person. Therefore, we should make fun of him. It's like, no. That sucked. That's not a good thing. A good thing did not occur. Something we should make fun of it did not occur. He deserves to die is something that Kira would say. True! I think some people forget what the lesson is in Death Note. Also, by the way, I'm just banning you, by the way. Just straight up banning you. Not gonna deal with that in my chat. Not gonna happen. No. Anyway, this one's funny. This one is genuinely funny. The damn self-racist bonus kaiju is... I don't know why that is such a wild title, but it is. It's wildly funny. My body is a machine that good. Good meme! I think last week, if I'm not mistaken, we had a meme similar to this, and it was also one of the best memes. This is one of the few instances where my body is a machine actually is funny. Diabellus has been officially linked. You know what that means. Melodious. What the fuck? Why? Melodious? What the hell is Melodious doing? Illusion? But what the... Google translated cards 100 times. In before Reddit bad. Reddit bad. 10 out of 10. Okay. I'm gonna... I Google translated cards 100 times for your entertainment. Snake Eyes edition. Brain training. You can discard this card from your hand. It's called Dark Star Maze. Hand towel. What the fuck? Oh, black good. Yes, of course. The wire net can be planted directly on the ground. If your opponent forces you to take a card from your hand or graveyard, you can use a card from your hand or graveyard as a special card. 10 out of 10. No nuts. Incredible. Brain training, colon. Don't know why there's colon in there, but there is. Alright, that one's good. Blue Eyes! It's him! Alright, they were right. This is very funny. Reduced weight / price. What? What? Reduced weight / price. It is a normal card or a special card. You can add a level 1 monster from your deck to your hand. Wait, the fact that this got through. You can add a level 1 monster. Every translation knows exactly what that is. Somehow that is funnier than everything else. It's just the fact that every translation got add a level 1 monster. Absolutely. Do that. You can do that shit. Go for it. 10 out of 10. U.S. forces are in 2 locations on this. What? U.S. forces are in 2 locations on this map. Besides chocolate Snake Eyes, Snake Eyes can also be made by hand or on skewers. You can use gray eye drops. Sorry, gray Snake Eye drops. Wild. 10 out of 10, no nuts. First come, first served. How did Snake Eye Oak become first come, first served? Hey, yo. Okay. Wash and dry at. True. It's also crazy looking at reduced weight / price and then washed and dry at, even though they are the same. So they must have changed like what they translated them into over the course of like this must have been translated into different languages than this one. Anyway, whether it's a normal card or a special card, you can use ban or GS to add attacks to your team or attack your favorite monsters. Incredible. This fund can provide missing cards. Start by washing your shoulders or back. You can use Snake Eyes. Wash your shoulders or back. Turn into a cooking recipe. Snake Eyes adds level 1. You can add the egg. Clearly a Blue Eyes card. There is no end. There is no end. Gloves, Peru. if your card has not been changed, period. That's it. Period. If your cards have not been changed, you can search for information and add it to existing or custom maps. Of course. You have Scorpio Gemini zodiac sign in your hand. Enter the owner's first and last name. What? Gloves Peru is so funny. That might be my favorite type and attribute, or type / super type. Oh my gosh. Oh, goodness gravy. Oh, that's a good one. Oh yes, my favorite super type, Peru. It's like tuner, except more Latin. Like chicken and beer. Available from. Okay. If you have llama in your hand, you can summon it and use Snake Eye once, and the effect can only be used once. That was it. That was the whole thing. Like chicken and beer. There you go. Volcosaurus is a snake. Volcosaurus is a snake. Full of wealth. Full of wealth. Surrender or GI. They can be locked with large monsters. This is your love. This does not feel fully translated. I feel like this gave up halfway through. But okay. It's a snake. Tube looked at the dragon. Compare motorcycles. If this card matches a monster, another monster card is on the opponent's field. Animals are forbidden. I don't know why animals are forbidden is so funny, but it is. Compare motorcycles. There you go. All right. Sure. Edit your message! The first group is expected to kill them with the Holy Spirit. Yu-Gi-Oh! Have keywords. True. The first group is expected to kill them with the Holy Spirit. Crazy. Compare motorcycles is oddly lore accurate considering Poplar ate the Goblin Biker Crazy Beast. Now we're talking. These are incredible. Holy. Our life. This one actually does work. Your turn. Our turn. Let's go. When playing cards, you can draw the hero's eye from your hand, neck, or shoulder. Neck or shoulder? Where are we? Huh? That's the second instance of shoulders being somehow related to the effect of the card. Which is... It's weird that it's happened twice. I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice. The first target is the Marta Gundam. That is the best name in this entire thread. I think that's better than Blue Eyes. The first target is Marta Gundam. It's pink! In ancient times, snake eyes were considered an unlucky sign. They're not wrong. It can also be used to send postcards from the south. It can be used to send postcards from the cemetery. Condition: you have one 1/1 monster in your hand or back. One missile defense system. 1 set up on the ground and return. Here's the real situation. Rotten snake eyes. It's so peak. It's so unbelievably peak. Oh, oh, holy shit. Oh, I gotta read this again. Sorry. In ancient times, snake eyes were considered an unlucky sign. It can also be used to send postcards from the cemetery. Condition: you have one 1/1 monster in your hand or back. 1. Missile defense system. 1. Set up on the ground in return. Here's the real situation. Rotten snake eyes. Incredible. It's so perfect. What the fuck is a missile defense system? What? I love just the full sentence of, here's the real situation. It's just a full sentence. Full stop. Here's the real situation. Oh. Oh my gosh. Incredible. This is a fast game. Put 1 grain in your hand when leaving the graveyard. Alright, we're playing Settlers of Catan. Missile defense system. Oh, make the pipe carefully. My grandma has no pathetic card. He has instead martyrdom to send me a postcard from his grave. I can't. Oh, I can't. Oh, I needed this. This is so funny. Holy shit. Sorry, I'm having so much trouble trying to read this. I'm so sorry. If your snake eyes are large, choose one of the options below to remove them. You can choose a monster from the field or grave to activate it. I love this. I love this place. Oh. You can choose a monster from field or graveyard to activate it. This is just Yu-Gi-Oh text. And then I love this place. Oh, this is incredible. Make the pipe carefully. Oh. I love that wanted stayed wanted. This did not change. However, oh my gosh, these last 3 have been so good. Oh, looking for sinful booty. Add a 1-star bag to your area or graveyard. If you put this card into your graveyard, you can start making wine without having grapes. What? How the f... It just says no comment. Oh my... Holy shit. Oh. Start making wine without adding grapes. Oh. No comment. Who made this? Major Internaut. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, Major Internaut, on Reddit.com. Because, dear Atlanta, this is so funny. No comment. Oh. Oh wow, these are some of these were definitely misses. This one kind of sucked. This one kind of sucked. This one kind of sucked. This one, godlike. This one, incredible. This one, nigh perfect. And of course, where is it? Blue Eyes. No, I can't face the Snake Eyes deck seriously, thanks Google. Oh my goodness. Please tell me you have more of this. I must know. Did you do any more? Nah. Oh man. They never include posts with multiple images. Yeah, that was funnier than the top 5 memes. Funnier than the top 5. That was funnier than like every single meme ever from this stupid subreddit. Blue eyes in a monster with one eye, one red eye. Yep, there you go. Holy, I don't even remember any of these memes. That meme, that one individual meme, will go down in history as the funniest thing that has just ever happened for Yu-Gi-Oh! That's Extra I left so hard. Edit your message being functionally Jesus kills man. I still can't get over the now you can make wine without adding the grapes. Oh. Okay. Let's talk about new cards. New cards! PogChamp new cards. Holy. Oh, we're never gonna get over that. Sorry, my ribs hurt immensely. Oh. Okay. New cards. We got 2 new Skull Servant cards, aka whites. We have Moisa White, which is a level 1 Dark Zombie effect monster, 300-200. You can only use a second effect once per turn, and its name is Skull Servant in the Grave. Not surprising. On normal or special, you can add a Skull Servant or a card that mentions it from your deck to your hand, except itself, and then you cannot special summon it except for zombies for the rest of the turn. And during the main phase, you can normal summon a level 4 or lower zombie monster in addition to your normal summoner set. Cool card. It allows you to get more Skull Servants, which means you can punch even harder. Cool. Not really that big of a deal, but sure. We're also playing White Master, which is a continuous spell card, and this will absolutely be changed. I guarantee it for localization, but that's a funny name. If your King of the Skull Servant attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. Oh, interesting. And once per turn, you can target a Skull Servant or King of the Skull Servant in your graveyard. Send a Skull Servant or a monster that mentions it from your deck to your grave, and if you do, specials on the target, but you cannot special for the rest of the turn except for zombies. That's actually pretty good. Both of these are not bad. They're not great, but they're pretty good. Their effects are strong, but because they lock you into zombies, I think they're reasonable. The year is 2025. Skull Servants can finally pierce. True. We now have 9 Skull Servant names, meaning a max power king can reach 2600 attack with all of them engraved. Also, the deck is more consistent. That's probably the most important part. Is it 2600? Where the fuck is he getting 26 from? That should be 1,800. Am I crazy? How did he get 26? At most, wouldn't it be... No, sorry. It would be 20... Yeah, no. I just did my math wrong. I was missing some. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It would be 26. You're right. King, Ojimare, Prince, Lady, Princess, and Lord, to my knowledge. King, Oji, Mayor, Prince, Lady, Princess, Lord. That's 7. And then the new guy. That's 8. Those are cool cards, but they're not going to do anything. We have Dragon Maids. We have 2 Dragon Maids, specifically. We have Dragon Maid Stern, which is a level 9 Dark Dragon effect monster with 2818, which is a Dragon Fusion monster you control. Or, sorry, which says, Dragon Fusion monsters you control cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. Cool. And, you can only use each of the following effects once per turn. You can discard this card to special summon a Dragon Maid from Grave or Banishment, except itself. And at the start of the battle phase, you can return this and special summon at level 4. Sure. This is, fine. Being able to special summon from Grave or Banishment is nice. That means that you're able to specifically special summon out another guy and kind of do additional... Oh, baking! Oh, you're right, white baking. So that's 8. Are we missing anything? King, OG, Mare, Prince, Lady, Princess, Lord, baking. That's 8. Which would be 20... or 2,000 or 20,000 at max. Anyway, Dragon Maid overall, having a level 9 is kind of interesting. Aren't most of them like level 7 and 8? It's kind of interesting. But this is a chamber, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Dragon Maid chamber, which I would imagine is probably going to get changed to some sort of amalgamation of chamber in the localization. But cool, good effect. 26 is correct. Am I wrong? King, OG, Skull Servant, White Mare, White Prince, White Lady, or Lady in White, sorry. White Princess, White Lord, and White Baking. That's 8. Which should be 23, right? Yeah, it'd be 23, because obviously you can only have 2 kings. It'd be nice to... It's not... Am I missing one? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the new one, 9. There you go, new one. That was what it was. We were forgetting. I was forgetting the new one. You're right. That is 9. Okay. There it is. Okay, sorry. Let's talk about Dragon Maids. Lady Dragon Maid, which is a level 8 light dragon fusion monster with 2,000, 3,000, which requires 2 Dragon Maid monsters of the same attribute but different levels. Cringe. Must first be special summoned from the extra deck by banishing 1 each from field and grave. By banishing 1 each of the above cards from your field and grave. Okay, so it doesn't actually fusion, you just summon from field and grave. Okay. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If this card is special summoned, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Dragon Maid monster from your deck. Whoa! And during your standby phase. Also, I don't like this. But at least it banishes instead of just recycling the materials. But yeah, okay. During the standby phase, you can fusion summon a dragon fusion monster from your extra deck by shuffling its materials from your field and or banishment into the deck. So you can literally just summon out Shio with this. Does that change anything? No. I genuinely don't think this does anything. Should we watch a Lithium video and see what Lithium's doing with it? Because of course he already made a video on it. I already saw it. Kaiman searches kitchen 1-card combo. Tier 0 Dragon Mage. Any Dragon Fusion. What Dragon Fusions even are there? Hello? You could summon Odd-Eyes Vortex Dragon. Or you could summon Borreload Fusion. Furious, sorry. Or you could summon says Dark Dragon? No, just Dragon. Summon Albion? Summon King Dragoon. Sure. You could summon the new Snake Eye Damned Dragon. You summon 5-headed. There you go. You can summon 1000 Dragon. Yo. Yeah, there's not really like that many great options. So, I mean, Shio might actually be one of the better options, just as like a Omni. Dragon Maid can end on negate plus tidying seals, from what I've gathered from people buzzing about. Not that impressive if you ask me, but it could be a way for TCG Tenpai to actually do something. Let's actually look at what the man, the myth, the legend, Lithium has to say about this. Bro said game over. The hell does that mean? Why does it do this? Why do you do this to me? Brother. Okay, well, whatever.
Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to Dragon Maid support. They got a new fusion and where is it? A bigger counterpart of the dark one. Which is kinda...
What the hell is happening here, Lithium?
Good, I'm not so sure if I really want to max it out. It's basically a monster reborn from either the graveyard or the banish pile by discarding itself. So it's basically a it sets itself up in the graveyard as a bigger, counterpart.
Made Shio and then made the other dragon.
And the fusion is super.
Seals fast. Let's go.
It's a combat fusion.
That's a quick effect. Oh, I get it now.
Dragon Maid monsters of the same attribute, but different levels. So basically, the smaller one, the smaller fire, and the bigger fire, for example. So again, super easy to get. Also banish both of them. So contact fusion. Upon summon, it's a hero list. So special summon something from deck, which is also fantastic. And during a standby phase, you can again contact fusion one of your bigger ones, the other ones. So either one is it house or the omni negation. Basically, the omni negation that reborn. So it's Chaos Angels really fast, and that's
yo.
These are only 2 cards. They do a lot for the deck. And we recently got more dragons, which are almost not going to max them out. But I do prefer more rulers, because again, you can search, especially the wind one, which is now superb. The Armageddonite one, the one that sends something from your deck to the graveyard. So reborn, the wind one sends here, in this case, the bigger dark one. Contact fusion in standby phase. It works during both standby phase. Go for, what is it, house, Dragon Maid. Whenever something is bounced, you can pop a card. The, what is it, Chaos Angel is, what is it, protected, right? But, maybe I should have worked towards the, what is it, the Fire Dragon Maid. The one that's basically an honest discard. This 2k boost or something like that. But it doesn't really matter too much. There's a Promethean Princess line in this particular deck with Cherubini. You'll see it in all the replays because Draco said there's one card Promethean Princess and, that could get your engine rolling. You'll see. I mean, it's something that 10 can definitely also run. For example, Unicorn is in this. We know why. It's
Unicorn?
it's 3/7.
Whoa!
It's
I never would.
crucial against most decks nowadays.
Dominus
so
Impulse?
you know,
My back?
it's far too strong.
Do it
Card should
again.
definitely
That was
get
the
to
worst impulse I think I've ever seen.
Anyway, so here's the Draco setup. So we have the Omni. Go for the 2 tokens and go for Cherubim.
Bro said no, I
Cherubim
don't
sending
want
level 3 to fire one. You know, we can go for Promethean, reborn the fire.
Those are 3s? You can make Cherubini off of that? What the fuck?
Search something, discard something,
Cool.
probably the fire one. You know, we need to get rid of Promethean because we're locked into fires, and then go for the Contact Fusion, reborn
Man, I
special,
hate
etc. See,
I hate the
snowballs.
cashier cards.
So really cool. So this is, you know, this is not Snake Eyes with the 7 interruptions, but it's really
Make
solid. So
Shio,
standby phase,
Shio,
communication,
back,
reborn,
back.
Promethean
Oh.
Princess in graveyard, to potentially, you know, pop something if something.
Why did- why-
so
why-
communication,
why
get
are
rid
we
of
just
Ash,
clicking buttons?
Birth is triggered.
What the hell are we doing?
So I now need to bounce something which I don't have. I don't have a trap.
This is-
not set.
This is the worst Snake Eye player I think I've ever seen.
It's
What the
fine,
fuck?
but it's super awkward, especially when going second, opening at least 1 or 2
Brother,
of
what are
the
you
traps.
doing?
But it's also
Why
like
does the
it's,
number 7 exist?
traps
True.
so Promethean Princess, then blocks the exit. This should be more than so we go for Phoenix. Which
How
is
do we
also
still
something
have-
to get rid of Promethean Princess in case it's, you know, it stays on the field, blocking your special summons. Bounce back the fusion, and now we should be able to pump out everything for the game, right? So Unicorn go for Make 7 for potential pop during their turn, you know, if they survive, but this should be more than, yeah, we can bounce for the communication.
I'm sorry, hold on.
Go for Make 7 for potential.
Why the fuck is this guy on the field? Why is the ranks... What? Who? Huh?
Potential pop during their turn, if they
2
survive.
7s make Draco
This should be
second.
more than, yeah, we can bounce
Is
for the
Cherubini
communication
for
attack
fire?
everything, so really
3
nice.
into
For a second.
Promethean.
This is the
Actually
thing is that
disgusting.
I
Oh, the cash
you
cards
should probably
and
keep in turn 4. What is it?
Cherubini.
The dual.
Cherubini.
Text 2, search 2. Thing is that if they have the extender, yeah, I lost either way. So I took a chance at, you know, imperm that one, and we'll see from there. But this turned out to be a solid long duel. We'll see. So this is okay. The Ash hurt. The Ash really hurt. Because this, what is hospitality? It's like, what is it? A 1 card.
And that's the game!
So it's
Unless this Ryziel player is ass.
So let's see. Okay,
Okay,
the
they're
wind
ass,
Tempest will
never
be added next turn.
Yeah,
Failure,
that's
that
okay.
hurts because again now I'm not able to send the wind for Compact Fusion. We bounce the fusion. The trap is forced out. Here I can attempt to foolish something or reward something and foolish something to
Yep.
go for the Compact Fusion.
Oh,
And
never
you
mind, he drew
go
trash.
from there.
Let's go!
More Ash.
That's full combo, baby!
People are running, what is it, almost half of the deck hand traps, and the Fiendsmith engine is so ridiculous as well. It recurs every turn.
Let's
It's-
go!
But we have follow-up plays for next turn, so let's see. They are ending on Caesar, right? Yeah. That hurts a little bit. Unicorn is a 6 element game, so go for Unicorn, search your birth, which again,
You!
next couple of minutes.
Bitch.
The fusion forces out, Unicorn vanishes one of the yeah, the
No.
second Tempest is indeed going to force out another Caesar negation, but the over gets me, which I think is fine. We can still extend, special summon the, what is it, Chamber from deck, search one of my last copies of Hospitality, if not the last. You know the combos, special summon eventually everything to the field again. So sick. This deck is
Man, I sure love
no,
the
it comes
Kashira
with
cards.
it's really
They're
solid.
my
So go for
favorite.
screen, and like, this field is super solid. You have the
Requiem.
Omnication next turn, special summon
Requiem.
Airs in my face, Unicorn to manage their second detonator, and then Masquerina for you for Little Knight. So fantastic, at least that's what I thought made that. So let's see. The problem though is Fiendsmith Ancient first, we banish the second detonator, they go for Little Knight and banish something.
Oh no,
But they,
both the detonators are banished. What are they gonna do?
Play 10 starter or more, but they still keep extending. The field spell gets
I don't know where Lithium finds these players, but let me tell you, they ain't playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh, sorry, we have one more card to look at. They ain't playing Yu-Gi-Oh there. We have Endymion, the Crescent of Magistus, which is a Link 2 light spellcaster Link effect monster with 1850 as a Link 2, which has the weirdest of arrows. I hate these arrows. 2 monsters, including a level 4 spellcaster monster. You can only use one of the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn, only once that turn. And if this card is Link summoned, you can target a Magistus monster you control, target a Magistus monster you control, equip a spellcaster from grave or banishment to it. Okay. And during your main phase, you can target a spellcaster monster card in your spell and trap card zone, treat it as an equipped spell, and return it to the hand. Okay. The 4:45 o'clock arrow. Yep. Exordio has a new video on it. this is where's the real Endymion support, Konami? True. My expectation was set super low, but my blood is boiling. Surely real Endymion support will come, right? Well, this is Magistus support. Y'all are thinking this is Endymion. Nah, this is Magistus. This is a Magistus card the entire time. Does some decent stuff. Yeah. This doesn't seem bad, but like, the comments are upset because, it says Endymion, and they're like, Endymion! When in reality, it's Magistus. Well, cool. Let's play Yu-Gi-Oh, shall we? Konami trying to extend Magistus lore? No. Alright, let's continue to play One Bad Day. Or we could play... What was the other deck I wanted to play? There's two decks I wanted to try. It was White Forest Sprite and Gimmick Puppet. But I don't know if I want to build Gimmick Puppet. How expensive is Gimmick Puppet? Let's find out. What, 2 of this, 2 of this, 2 of this, 3 of this, 2 of this, maybe? That's it? And then a bunch of SRs? How much is that? 330. Endymion being the only reasonable guy is refreshing. That's fine. I know for a fact Endymion has 0 shooters for besides like Triff. Yeah, exactly. I mean, but the thing is, who cares about Magistus? Yeah, the rank up a spell. You're right, I forgot that's also who you are. Yeah, I don't give a shit. Gimmick Puppet looks extremely boring. I was gonna play it because I was like, oh, I can get like the demon title on all of my accounts. That'd be fun. Smile. And now I just have no desire to do that. I don't want to play Trickstar because the new Trickstar cards are a joke as well. Was there anything else in here? No, it's just White Forest. Yeah. Okay. Alright, well, we'll play a few more games of this. And then maybe we'll go back and play White Forest Sprite. Let's play One Bad Day. I kind of want to play Orcus as well. Orcus is super cool. What if you had one bad day? And then you made your opponent have one bad day. Building Orcus right now. Nice. This is certainly a... You know what? I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that. I'll tell you that. How much do you want to bet I get Lightning Stormed? Watch. Oh, cool. It's Gimmick Puppet. Hooray! Hooray! Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sure. Mm-hmm. 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 Sure. Does this do anything? this only during main phase? Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Sure. I don't think this pack's all that bad. It's not exceptional, but it's not bad. Nah. Sure. Sure. Gonna make Zeus? Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What a fun game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I literally just drew nothing. I'm surprised as many people are playing. Oh, right, I'm in Diamond. I have legit only seen Gimmick Puppet in Diamond. I haven't seen it once in Master. Because the only people who are playing it are people who think that it's actually good, when in reality, it's not. Well, this kind of sucks. Did I do this wrong? No. I don't have anything? That's interesting. That's interesting. Domain. Let's do pantheism, actually. Pantheism, domain. Okay. Go tribute summon this guy. Do I attempt to draw two here? No. Harpies? Why the hell are we going second? Ooh. Ooh. Cute. Trevor? Was Witchcraft or White Forest ever a thing? Not really. Why did we not Charvara earlier? What the hell? I mean, it probably was, but like... Not really. Witchcrafter's not good enough for that. Mm-hmm. 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 Why didn't we use Charvara? Mm-hmm. That's fucking sick, dude. It's still negated. Yep. Mm-hmm. Sort of new to Master Duel, but been using Memento in hopes they add the new support soon. Me too. Yeah, Memento's pretty cool. Thinking thoughts here. Sure, yeah, that's fine. Mm-hmm. 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 Now what? Mm-hmm. Oh, shoot, that's not what I wanted to do. Wait, no, that's not... I wanted to use the other one effect. Oh, sorry, I was thinking this was a return. Having a hard time playing around hand traps? Yeah, that's just par for the course for that deck. Out comes Yama? Sure. He'll do something. Trust. Mm-hmm. Isn't it 3 cards they're missing? They're missing the 2 main deck monsters and then the fusion. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What the hell are we doing with this? I think most people use Echiron at 1. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's fairly common. Big Fusion and Sleepy came out as a pair initially. Yeah. You're right. You forgot about the Fusion? That was the one you forgot? What? No, that's something. Uh-huh. Sure. Yama? No, Yama already activated. Masterpiece, a hell of a card. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think Masterpiece has been power crept. I don't think Masterpiece is the card that has been power crept. I think it is the consistency of True Draco that has been power crept. I think every deck being able to actually always play the game matters so much more. A trap and monster unaffected Masterpiece? That was just a trap unaffected. They just couldn't activate monster effects, though, because of the skill drain. Or they can use them effectively. I don't know why they chose to go second there. That was a... Why would you do that with Unchained? What the hell? Bro was betting on Tenpai. He said, it's Tenpai, trust. It's Tenpai. It's Tenpai. Draconic Diagram. Ash? Yep. Fuck. Well, see you in a turn. Cyber, sure. Imagine if lose a turn cared. That'd be crazy. Red reboot? He forgot sometimes why. Yes. Yeah. Did you read my card? He didn't read his card. Oh, he did read! He read! Let's go. He's huge! Yeah. Is Loser Turn like Skill Drain with being dodgeable? I'm pretty sure it is, yeah. While a monster is face up on the field, negates its effects. During the turn, it was special summon. OTK incoming? Yeah. Yeah, imagine. Yeah, I don't hate it. Sure. Sure. Go on, activate the Max C. Come on, it's so good. Trust. Dude, what the fuck? Update Jammer transcode into access. Yeah, lose a turn stopped all of that. That's not something they can do. Lose a turn says lose a turn. Even the Link monsters lose a turn. It's not Baguska. It is stop. It's you're not allowed to play. It's literally better skill drain. Because it also turns monsters sideways. But it's only better skill drain for a turn. And technically, if you normal summon, it's not that bad. True, it's in the name. It's in the name. It's in the name. Just saying. Just saying. It's in the name. I'm gonna set the return here. Ash? No, I'm surprised. Genuinely surprised. Kind of want to grab this, but there's no real reason to do that. That's just, like, bad. Yeah, I will just add Majesties. I'll add Dynamite Knight. Dynamite Knight kind of makes the most sense here. You gonna draw me? That'd be cute. How much do I want to bet this is Tenpai? Ready, Harpies. Go. Huh? What? You know what? Understandable. No, that makes sense. He said BRB. I have questions. I have a few concerns and questions. What? Why is he here? Chat, I need you to explain why the Chaos Creator is in this deck. I would love to know. I'll match into Tenpai Trust. Seriously. Why the fuck is DD Crow in their deck? What is DD Crow? What is DD? He's creating chaos. Duh. Drew. Boom! I'm back. Did we figure out why this Chaos Creator's in here? DD Crow's not that bad for a budget card. True. He recycles Sunny. Okay. I wanted to play against the one shifter. Oh, Chaos Creator's in SR. Shuffler's rigged to make me buy packs. Yeah, that sounds about right. Supposedly, it's an imported TCG strategy for Live Twin where the deck was fairly played. I think the extra material can be used to make Griffin, Abomination, or just bring back a Trouble Sunny. Yeah, I guess. Okay. Understandable. For chaos, what more do you want? There you go. This is a hand of all time. Smile. I guess we go Ignis Heat, right? No, we probably go Dynamite, right? This activates a spell. Yeah. So we want to go Dynamite Knight. Of a TCG styled list, extenders, sideboard cards, and random one-ofs for crossout. True. It's Monarchs. Smile. Trust. Smile. Wannabe. Wait, we're activating this now? Dial. Oh, it's Dynamorphia. For a second, I thought this said scam of the Supreme King, and I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. It says so. It says so. Iron Tundra. Oh, that's cute. What does Iron Thunder do? Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Sure. Uh-huh. 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 Sure, that's fine. Yeah. This is why we diversify our columns. True. True. Can Masterpiece activate under Rexstrom? Believe so. Combat? I don't think Rex is the player. They have like Judgment or Strike or something like that? Probably. Damn, unlucky. Okay, you got it. Hitting Iron Thunder there was crazy. Unlucky. I don't already know what they're gonna give me, but let's do this. See? I told you. See? I told you. What? Is this a once per? No. Insane. Maneuver. We'll do this. We'll do this. The trap monsters have to have really good effects because they're, you know, trap monsters. The thing with Dynamorphia is that it loses to itself 90% of the time. Similar to, like, Dark World. How's True Draco been? Really boring. But it's been okay. Like, it's existed. It's like better stun. It's pretty much all it is. It's just stun. It's just stun, smile. Ash? Yes, sir. I was so close to resolving simultaneous equation can earlier, but I mixed up which number it had to be for the fusion and the Z, respectively. Yeah. Yep. Happens. We'll go... Domain. You have droll? Damn. Okay. Bro, a droll and a... Wait, why would we not have just allowed the draw to resolve? Oh, right, because we're stupid. I forgot. Do you have a red reboot? That'd be crazy. Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have Cosmic last card? That'd be crazy. How much do I want that they go combat and then try and activate the Chandra? The hell? Pitch Veiler is very funny. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. My cards aren't magically going to get new text. My cards aren't going to just magically get up and obtain new text. That's crazy. Dude, loser turn is so bullshit. Wild. That certainly was, These are certainly games. That's what I will say. They're certainly games that are being played. Trust. These certainly are games of Yu-Gi-Oh! Imagine having a thought in your head. Coin flip luck on point? I kind of, but also no. I've actually lost quite a few, but every time I've lost the coin flip, my opponents have allowed me to go first. Or have just done nothing themselves. Yo, bro, red. It's crazy. It's crazy. Alright, let's do this. That's why it's on point. Joru. 1, 2, 3. Gee, I wonder what they're gonna give me. Sick. Sick. Plop Stormforth. Add... Could just add Masterpiece here. But I think the play... Is that like Dynamite Knight? I'm trying to think if there's a better option here. Awakening's not bad. It's probably just Masterpiece, isn't it? And just Tribute. Like, boom, here's an unaffected monster and spell guy. Yeah. So we have Pantheism as follow-up. Is it an Imperm? Great question. If it is, then this is a goof, but... I'm guessing it's Max C, but it... No, it's probably not. You're right. It's probably Imperm. Actually, I know for a fact now that it is. Yeah, so we just lose. Tragic. Happens. Imperm? No. Okay. Could it have been Taylor? Could be Crow, but would they not have used that on... They probably wouldn't have used it on Pantheon. Pantheism. Evenly, sure. Masterpiece pop even. True. Good draw. I'm guessing it's either Valor or Maxi. Those are my thoughts. Pantheism. Ash? Nope. Cool. Alright, what floodgate do you want? Hell yeah. Yeah, it's probably Valor. Yeah, imagine if I actually had to contend with the second evenly. That would have been awful. That would have been really frustrating. Incoming Red Eyes Fusion. That'd be cute. Ray. Did you roll the third one? Yep. Crazy. Sure. So they have what? Valor, Ray, Unknown? That makes sense as to why they set the other one. Shizuku. Sure. Why didn't we special there? Interesting. Do you have a samurai in hand? Bro really wanted me to activate my card there. Well, why would I? Yeah, Sky Striker's crazy, chat. Whoa, it's so good. Just draw triple evenly and still do fuck all. Why did we not... Why did we not re-summon Ray there? The hell was our plan? Also, they literally could not out my guy. They had 0 outs to that guy. Literally 0. Does Chimera and Whitewoods have synergy? Not really. Trying to make Chimera a little more interesting. Don't give up. Play a different deck. Chimera is extremely boring. Hate to break it to you. Oi. Fenris. Fenris is kind of an issue. Oh, it's Tearlament. Okay, yeah, we're cooked. I don't think there's a world in which I win this. Unless I draw Masterpiece. I'd have to, like, draw Masterpiece here, set Erupt, activate Stormforth, Tribute, and then just, like, attack. Because if I'm unaffected by traps and monsters, Fenrir equals tier 90% of the time. Yeah, starting with special summon Fenrir, yeah. But I mean, the search also tells you. Also, Fenrir isn't so much. I'll just scoop. I don't want to. Yeah, you got it. That hand needs like very, very specific draws to do just about anything. It's, you know, knowing me, I'm not going to draw them. And even if I do, it's probably not even going to do anything. I see why people like this deck, but Dear Atlanta, I feel like I'm not even playing the game. I feel like the game is being played for me. Diagram. It was like a Ghost Ogre or something. Heritage. Oh, Heritage. Tribute the Maiden. Pop Maiden. Pop Dynamite Knight. I will pop Maiden. Is this a once per? Like a hard once per? Yeah, you can only use each effect once per turn. Alright, we'll grab this guy. Roll. Interesting. They have Imperm? No. The Ash? Elected to not Ash? That'd certainly be something. That would certainly be something. Mm-hmm. Playing camera? Activate return. Sure. Do I go Ignis Heat here? Nah. I do really want Spell and Trap, though. Or Spell and Monster, though. Ignis Heat's probably the play. Eh. Is it, though? Is it, though? Nah, we still do this. This just cleans the field too effectively. What? What fun! Why am I still playing this deck? We could be doing, gosh diggity darn, anything else. It's a great question. That's a great question. Because I've turned my brain off. I have stopped thinking. This is a comedy hand, that's for sure, that's for sure. What do I need to draw here? If I draw a trap, it's actually not bad. Perhaps a bit too chill, but chill nonetheless, yeah. Oh, cool, I'm getting FTK'd. Awesome. There we got it. That's the legit first time I think I've lost to that deck actually being able to FTK. Because, like, legit, every other time it dies to having nothing in hand. Surely they do not have the Kukaracha. Incroyable, Sacre Bleu. You're gonna give me... You're gonna give me this one. Diagram. Diagram. Top. Add. Add, Maiden? Did you change the coin toss to rock, paper, scissors? What would that change? A chill rock, paper, scissors match. Good. Lightning Storm. Sure. We'll go Chain Link 1. Droplet? It is. Damn. Unlucky. Tragic. Okay. I feel like my chances of going first go up lol team paper. It doesn't. Literally nothing would change. It'd be the exact fucking same. Unlucky. They had the droplet. If they don't have Droplet there, we're fine. But, you know, Droplet does kill us. Actually playing around Deity? No. You think they played around anything there? No, they just wanted to click the button. They're like, no, negate. Had I not activated my monster, they would not have activated that Droplet. I'm almost certain of it. Good hand. Yo, is that me? Dot deck? That's crazy. That's crazy. I really don't want to sit through this combo. Why not add the continuous spell if we already have this? Because we already have the other one. True. Oh, wow, we even have that guy in hand? Fun. Me. Why are we not making the fusion? Oh, right, because we're greedy. What if I nibbed your ass right now? Oh, right, you don't care, because you're stupid. Yama Chainlink 1, Cross Sheep Chainlink 2. Hello? What are we thinking about? What are we thinking about here? Why is Cross Sheep here? Why is there a Cross Sheep on the field? It's just having a good time. That's what it's doing. It's just having a grand old time, apparently. Man, I hate you, Belle. Yup. Now what, make SP? Yeah, make SP. Do it. Come on, it'd be cool. Brother, what the fuck is the plan? Oh, we're gonna make Apo! Of course. Wait, hold on. This board doesn't do anything. The fuck? I mean, yeah, for sure, of course. Why would it not? What the hell? Yeah. Incredible. 10 out of 10. No notes. Fucking perfect, dude. That's crazy. Imperm. I did care about that one, I'm not gonna lie. Comedy. Cool. We'll go combat. I'll go main 2. I will tribute here for this guy. And then I will set 1, and I will set 2, and I will set 3. Go. Imperm. How am I liking for Draco? It exists. Yeah. Oh, because I... Ha! Wait. Is that because I put it in this column? Because it's still a trap? This game's so dumb. Oh, I hate it here. Yeah, it's fine. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, dude. Mm-hmm. Please, please attack me with the U-Bell. Incredible. Oh, this game's so bad, dude. Man, fuck this game. Oh, this is so fucking stupid. Gee, I think that's an imperm, right? Probably? Yeah, crazy. Crazy. He's about to scoop trust. Add it back to hand. Whoa, it's in hand now. That's crazy. Why don't we chain this the other way? Because we're stupid. Cool. 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 King's Return. That's pretty good. Do you got something for me? He's thinking about it. This is number of True Draco and True King card types sent to grave. I'm gonna pop the Apophis anyway. The Apophis. Apophis. I'll grab the... True Draco at the very least is like remotely interesting, right? Like there is some sort of play happening, right? You're not literally stun, right? True Draco is not stun, which is why this is the definition of control, right? However, it kind of boils down to like just stun, so there's not a whole lot of gameplay happening. Like that was gameplay. I'll tell you that, but True Draco tier 2, let's go. Yeah, I don't know. I just oof. A lot of the games feel like that though, where it's just like, cool, my opponent killed themselves. Smile. Or like, cool, I opened the floodgate. Awesome. And there's so many like incredible floodgates for monsters that are not special summoned, so you just end up winning like 90% of the time. I play it with skill drain, 3 one-sided skill drain, 3 one-turn skill drain, and 3 skill drain after 2 effects. Here's the thing. What I will say is you can play a whole bunch of skill drains, that's fine. Problem is, if you play a bunch of skill drains, you break. Which is why I enjoy having Pantheism, as well as Domain and Erupt, right? Stormforth is literally in here pretty much just for Pantheism to, like, discard. It also has other points, but it's one of those things where it's like, in terms of consistency, having the Monarch stuff is very useful. Outside of that, basically, if I see this floodgate, or this floodgate, I basically win the game. Or if I'm able to see Masterpiece and make it unaffected by monsters and spells, I also basically just win the game. So I'm not really too concerned about, like, seeing a whole bunch of skill drains. Or realistically anything like that. And having Apophis is incredibly useful for negating problematic cards. So that's nice. as you saw in that previous game. It's great. Now, with that being said, man, this deck made my brain just, like, shut off. It just, like, stopped working. It was like, what if we didn't think? And I went, okay. And then, all right. But at least it's more interesting than stun. Not by a lot, but it is more interesting. I think the funniest part about this is going Pantheism, it getting Ash Blossomed, and then going Pantheism and going Erupt, 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 or Domain, 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 and being like, cool, here's your Floodgate. And then they're just like, oh, well. Or, even funnier, going Pantheism, Pantheism, and then the additional Floodgate, and being like, okay, choose not the Floodgate, and then already having the Floodgate in hand. Like, wow. At least we're still fighting with True Draco, true. To be fair, I saw TD as Thunder Dragon. I was like, what? At least we didn't lose to the terrible, no good, very bad Yubel player. If I lost that game, I would have retired. Dear Atlanta. There is some form of gameplay? Yeah. There is decision making, there is gameplay, there is interaction. It's just control. Right? And it's control. It's like True Draco feels the most like a Magic deck. More so than anything else. Like, it feels just like a Magic deck, where it's like, cool, I'm gonna, like, nickel and dime with the interactions, and, like, I'm gonna end up with a guy and, like, an enchantment. And that's it. Yeah, it's so basic, but it works. It's like, alright, out my big dingus. Here's a Shio Dread. Out it. It's nice to play from time to time. Honestly, I would play this. I could see myself genuinely playing this with like something else on the background. Like, for example, if I wanted to watch a television show on my second monitor and I like just wanted to grind Yu-Gi-Oh and not really think about it. This is what I liked about Flunder as well. Right? Is that Flunder did the same thing as this, but was like better, right? Whereas like, cool, I do the one thing I do, and that's it. That's all I have to do. I don't have to make decisions. I just do the thing, and if I do the thing, I win. Right? And so like I could legit this is the first time Duelist Cup came around with Flunder. It was the second Duelist Cup, I think. I was gonna grind the Duelist Cup, and I was like playing out the Duelist Cup, kind of grinding it. And I was just playing Flunder and like watching videos on my second monitor, and this feels very similar. Where it's like, cool, what if I just didn't play the game and instead did something else that I wanted to do more, but like was still able to grind the game. However, there's no real reason to do that. The only complex gameplay with Flu was the mirror. Yep. At the time of its release, yeah. I think Flu has gotten a lot more interesting because with the release of the barrier statue, or with the banning of the barrier statue, it's much better. But yeah. Farfo playing it without lose a turn and then getting clapped by Tenpai is funny, especially when lose a turn is his usual Floodgate. I will say, I do actually really like a lot of the decisions with this deck in particular. The only thing I'm not really that big of a fan of is Stormforth. Like, it's just bad for the most part. I probably should just play it an additional lose a turn. The problem with that is, again, consistency, right? And, like, going second, it becomes a lot more of an issue. But, like, I've legit never used Stormforth going second. Even going second, I'm like, I'd rather just, like, tribute over one of my spells or traps and, like, pop a card and then, like, just, like, have a guy. But I'm sure on, like, less established boards, it's more useful. It just hasn't come up for me. Lab can be that way, but not often, right? Because Lab also kind of takes a bunch of time and effort. But for the most part, like, yeah, and yeah, no, that's it. And I think it's okay to have decks like this, right? Ryzeal is kind of like this, where it's just like, cool, what if I just stopped every single play that you made, and I didn't really have to think about it? Smile. And like that ends up working pretty well. What if I didn't have to memorize a 15-step combo and I just did 2? I wish there were more decks like that. Lab need to be focused on timing where to choke. Depending on the version, yes. Most of the time I would say yes. However, sometimes you play a deck that is literally just that's literally just, what if I played a bunch of floodgates? And that's kind of it. And then you flip like a Daruma, and then they die. Cash is kind of like that. Yeah, but no one plays pure cash anymore. Because it's really bad. Whereas, like, when I play tier... To be fair, when I play tier, I can also just kind of, like, turn my brain off at this point because I've played tier so much. I'm just like, cool, I do this, and then I do this, and then I do this. And, like, it's autopilot for me. Right? Similarly with, like, Sprite, or with Tri-Brigade, or with... Hell, even Dark Lord. Cash died to Raigeki. Yeah, you're not wrong. But yeah, for the most part, I don't know. I think it's not bad having decks like this in the metagame. The problem that I have with it, though, is how obscene the floodgates are. If the floodgate, like, for example, I think lose a turn is fine. I think lose a turn is a fine, fair floodgate. It's annoying, but there are a ton of ways of dealing with it. Monarchs Erupt, Domain, these two are too powerful. And I personally really don't like them. I think they are just bad design. Because basically the idea is like, oh, what if you prevented people from playing the game by having like a tribute summoned monster? It's like, it's not difficult, especially now, to get a tribute summoned monster onto the field on the first turn. And then you just play no extra. Like, that's not difficult, as we see. And so it ends up just becoming, like, horrible. And just, like, not a fun card to deal with. You don't even have to control a monster after the activation. Yep. I guess problem is they keep forgetting to ban the deck during events. No, they've done better about that. But yeah, early on that was the case. Me with Sword Soul or Fire King. I've done my reps and unlocked to the 6th Sense on those decks and can freestyle anything with those decks. Yeah. Yep. Yep. I don't think there's another deck that I've really played that much. Yeah. I just don't put in the reps enough. Because honestly, playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Sucks. True Draco was good season 1 of Master Duel in the events. But besides that, it's been irrelevant. Yep. However, with the release of Masterpiece, straight up, Masterpiece changes so much of the math for True Draco because now they actually have like a legit win condition. Whereas like previously they would die to pretty much anything. Now, on top of that, having Apophis, like Apophis is absolutely insane. The new one. This card saves so much. It's such a huge addition, right? But on top of that, having Masterpiece as well really does help facilitate like an actual game plan. Where it's one of those things where it's like, okay, cool. If you don't answer my you know, my Majesty Maiden or something like that, right? If I'm able to set up a masterpiece, like, it's so difficult to out, regardless of what two things you use. Because oftentimes, right, it's paired alongside an additional thing. Domain, Erupt, Lose a Turn, even Apophis, right? And stuff like that, where it's like, cool, here's a big unaffected guy that also has a floodgate attached to it. Like, there have been several games where I've summoned Masterpiece with, like, 2 spells or 2 traps or something like that, and then had just Erupt or Domain, and it's like, cool, well, that's the game. Now you can't do anything. Smile. Yeah. Just silly, just goofy, just dumb. Inducing PTSD is another interruption. Yeah. Yeah. Now my brain is off. Masterpiece is the king of running away with games once the board has been simplified. Yeah. Seriously. Because it's like, it's also one of those things where it's like, every card you draw has a 1 in 3 chance of being ineffective. And every card I draw is almost guaranteed to be something useful for me. Whether that's a spell to get me additional cards into rotation, whether that is a trap to get me additional monsters or additional protection or something like that, whether that is a monster to get me additional, you know, an additional clock, or whether that's literally nothing of use at the time, and Masterpiece can literally just deal with the card that you have. And it's just, like, if you're having to face down a Masterpiece, you generally need, like, 3 to 4 cards to deal with it. And that's why I don't like him. And he should have remained banned. Because does Masterpiece create interesting games? Does he provide gameplay that is fun? No, not really. Not really for either side, right? Is he balanced? Yeah, I don't think he's really causing issues, and like he's not necessarily a meta threat. But the problem is that Konami tends to forget to balance the game for fun. They focus so hard on balancing the game and making it fair, quote unquote, that they oftentimes forget to make games fun for both players. And oftentimes that takes form of really difficult, unfun cards to deal with. Or more specifically to out, right? Dragoon, Masterpiece, etc. And then cards that entirely invalidate strategies, right? Mostly Floodgates, where it's like, cool, what if you didn't play the game? Right? So, again, is Masterpiece fine? Yes. Are Gimmick Puppets okay with their whole FTK? Yeah. Are, you know, is Goblin and Dragoon and all of these other cards balanced and not going to change the metagame drastically? Yes. Are they going to ever be fun for anyone? Not really. I would say 90% of the players who have to deal with it, either using it or playing against it, are not really going to see that much enjoyment out of having these cards. I've seen Dragoon summoned so many times. 90% of the time, Dragoon is summoned. I mostly seen it in paper, obviously. 90% of the time when Dragoon is summoned, both players stop having fun. Genuinely. The branded player will now entirely be focused on allowing the Dragoon to resolve and like trying to get to that. So getting to there is like stressful and not exactly fun and is just like a bad time. And then the other player, when it does hit the field, now has to deal with this stupid thing and is just like, okay, well that's frustrating. I guess I don't have the out. oops. And then it just kind of boils down to a game of nothing, where nobody really plays the game, and it frustrates people. Right? And casual players, who are just like, I just want to make Dragoon. They'll summon Dragoon and be like, yo, that's so fun! And then whoever they're playing against hates it. And then the casual player will not do anything for the rest of the game, except for sit on Dragoon. And then they realize, after Dragoon has been summoned, they're not doing anything. And they'll slowly lose interest. I've seen it several times, where they're just like, yeah. And then either their Dragoon is outed, or they just go, oh, okay, I win that game. And then they'll go to the next game and just be, like, bored. I have never seen someone... I have rarely seen someone having enjoyable time with Dragoon. The same can be said for Goblin. The same can be said for Masterpiece. The same can be said for Maxi. The same can be said for a lot of these cards. And that genuinely is my biggest gripe with the current design philosophy with Konami. Electromite should be banned. Not because of balance or because of any of that stuff, but because it so heavily over-centralizes the way that Pendulum works that Pendulum decks bleed into Pendulum, the archetype, instead of Pendulum, the summoning mechanic. Pendulum is not a fucking archetype. It's a summoning mechanic. It should be a summoning mechanic. But Electromite says, no, it's a archetype. Everything falls under... Any Pendulum card has to do this, where we do this same combo over and over and over again. Right? But if you ban Electromite, a lot of that stops being the case. And now they have to branch out and, Valence has to do this combo, and Super Heavy Samurai has to do this combo, and this deck has to do this combo, and this deck has to do this combo, and it starts to branch out. But of course, Electromite exists, so why would we ever do that? It's just the best option. Why would we ever change from the best option? And that's the same thing with Dragoon and with Masterpiece, and so it's just, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. At least, to me, at least Dragoon makes sense because a lot of players really enjoy Dragoon conceptually. So a lot of casual players will pick up and play Dragoon. So it makes sense to release Dragoon. But who was clamoring for Goblin? Who was clamoring for Masterpiece? Like, they're fair, but that doesn't mean they need to come off of the ban list. I am like the exact opposite of MBT with this idea. I think there should be more cards on the ban list. Right? I would much rather have more cards sitting on the ban list because they are not fun to play against. Right? I'd much rather have Poisonous Winds, a card that has never seen play at any point throughout the history of Yu-Gi-Oh!, be on the ban list, because there's no reason for that card to ever exist. What if you couldn't special summon wind monsters and they lost attack? Great, why would I ever want to play that card or play against that card? Put it on the ban list. It doesn't need to be there. Anyway, imagine making the game fun. That'd be crazy. Cool. Well, I'm gonna call it quits there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy it. If you did, I like it very much. So appreciate it. And remember to always stay frosty. Bye bye. Bye bye.